one of the most popular travel destinations in the world. Tens of millions of tourists visit this beautiful city each year. They come for that delicious French cuisine, les baguettes, le fromage, le vin, les pâtisseries, le Tour Eiffel, le Sacré-Cœur, l'Arc de Triomphe, le Champs-Élysées, l'art, les musées, l'architecture, la mode, le jazz, et finalement, l'amour. But it's not just an idyllic travel spot. It's a city most people dream of living in. Especially for me. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to live in France. And when I was in university, I got the opportunity to study abroad in Paris for 1 year. It was my first year living abroad and what initially sparked my lust for travel. After that year though, I had to return to the US to finish my studies. But that dream of living in France was still there. And 5 years later, I was back.
Oh, here we go again, yeah. Oh, here we go again. Let's do it one more time, yeah. Oh, here we go again. Oh, 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 oh,
Hi guys, welcome to Paris. I am finally here and I'm so excited. I think I hit a wall, or I was about to hit a wall because I've been traveling so much, and now I'm in my apartment here in Paris. So excited. Okay, so I have decided to stay in Paris for 3 months now. Originally I had planned for just 1 month, but as I've mentioned, I feel very burnt out from travel. Like, I'm just exhausted. This place that I have is an Airbnb and it's honestly relatively cheap for Paris. It's only like 890 euros a month, but it's completely furnished, has wicked fast Wi-Fi, like crazy fast 5G. I love it. Being back in Paris felt a bit surreal. In one sense, it was very familiar and still felt like home, especially when catching up with old friends.
Hi guys, this is Pau. If you remember her from Bali, she lives in France, in Paris. This is where we met. C'est mon ami Laurent. On est amis depuis 4 ans.
5 ans.
5 ans, ouais, parce qu'on travaille au même pub. Il s'appelle Frog Pub.
Voilà.
C'est cool.
But on the other hand, it was a completely new experience. It's no secret that Paris is going through a period of extreme adversity right now, and it's important that travelers are extra careful and diligent when visiting. I'll share my personal experience with certain issues later on in this video, but for now, let's go over some of the highlights. After a month or so, I made this awesome new group of friends who I basically spent the last 2 months with. It seemed like almost every day was picnic day.
Bienvenue à Paris!
I'm not even in the picture.
One day I even met up with one of my Instagram followers and we shared a few drinks, or bottles of wine.
My name is Ruth and I am one of Poppy's followers, and we've met here and we're having the crack. Wow, what do you what? As we say in Irish. We're not having crack. Oh, what you found? We're having deep crack.
I danced my face off at La Fête de la Musique for the second time in my life now, which is when the entire city essentially breaks out into music and dancing, with local artists performing in parks, neighborhoods, streets, wherever really. The whole city is making noise. It's super fun. Holidays, which is a French annual music festival that brings together more than 150 artists for 3 days at the end of June. I ventured outside of Paris to Lille for a day trip, which is a small city in northern France, near the border with Belgium.
Ok, bah je présente Jeffrey.
Allô tout le monde.
Tu viens d'où?
Je viens de Nancy.
Et maintenant on a trouvé les autres amis sur le train.
Ouais, notre ami regarde.
Ouais.
Avec les jambes d'ascenseur. Follow me on Instagram.
Ils peuvent avoir les billets gratuitement, non?
Non, pas ça.
Ok, bah t'as pris...
Yeah,
Quoi?
finalement, on prend le gâteau de Lille.
Ça s'appelle quoi?
Oh, merveilleux. Tu vois, c'est la spécialité de la région. Ils sont merveilleux.
Ah bon?
Je te jure. C'est trop bien. C'est merveilleux.
Oui, c'est merveilleux.
Oh, c'est merveilleux.
Oh, mais vraiment, c'est merveilleux.
Vraiment.
Oh,
Ouais.
c'est très doux.
Ouais, ouais.
Ah, c'est comme
on n'a
un-
rien regretté.
Oh putain, mais c'est comme le mousse et quelque chose
Ouais.
crispy.
Moi, ça a l'air crispy au début, non?
Oui, crispy.
Mais apparemment, c'est
Mais c'est
super
aussi
bon.
comme en mousse. Oh my gosh.
Et on a trouvé le magasin par hasard.
Ok, mais ça s'appelle
C'est,
comment? Oh, attends,
bon,
ça
on met-
s'appelle Oh merveilleux.
I even had a friend come visit me in Paris, Anwar, who came on the Guatemala group trip and got to show him to all my favorite local spots in Paris.
It's his first time having croque madame, which is basically a grilled cheese with an egg on top.
It's a giant slice of bread. I've never seen a bread this size before. It's good.
But
More cheese would be better, but it's still good.
you want more cheese?
I'm just kidding. It's awesome.
What is this called? The Umbrella Sky?
Umbrella Sky. They have it all over. We had it in Miami.
Welcome to the Umbrella Sky. What do you say?
I said we're here at Umbrella Sky, and it's just about bringing people to come out here to these local shops in the area.
By putting these umbrellas here?
Yeah, just putting these umbrellas here and putting it all over Facebook. The people will come out here, the locals and the tourists. Come check out the shops. They're distracting you with the umbrellas, and they're saying, "Come out to these shops."
So do you want to go into the shops?
No, I don't want to go into the shop.
Not gonna fall for that
Not gonna
trap.
fall for it. I'm gonna feel too bad about it.
It's a good theory. I agree with you.
Because when you think about it, they're just umbrellas.
And because it's probably Instagrammable.
Oh yeah, see, I don't do
We
that.
did just take an Instagram.
Even ran into somebody very, very unexpected right when I arrived at Paris.
Bonjour, moi c'est Eddy.
Et on est où maintenant?
On est à Paris.
Et toi, tu suis moi?
Non, toi tu me suis.
Non, parce qu'on est arrivé le même temps, presque le même temps.
Et le même
Paris,
jour à
ouais.
Paris.
Et de plus, on est dans le même quartier, le 18e.
Dans le 18e arrondissement de Paris. Parce que
Bah, ça,
Poppy
c'est
elle me
vraiment
suit.
bizarre.
Parce que Poppy elle me suit.
Non. Je t'ai dit que je suis dans le 18e et après
Reste
tu m'as dit
reste
le même.
entre-
Eh ouais.
Par
Le
contre-
crétin, il est là.
Non, par contre elle m'a promis, en tout cas pour ceux qui suivent Poppy, qu'elle a dit qu'elle
Non.
allait changer ses vêtements. Parce que
Non.
sur toutes ses vidéos c'est les mêmes putains de vêtements.
Oh, j'ai une valise
et on dirait que
très
c'est
petite.
Poppy, la homeless, la clocharde qui voyage dans le monde entier. Avec les mêmes
J'aime
fringues.
bien mes vêtements.
Oui, Poppy,
Ça,
homeless.
c'est le même.
Non,
aussi.
oui, mais moi j'ai d'autres vêtements.
Ah,
moi, si je
non.
ferais des vidéos, je serais tout le temps habillé un peu différemment, quoi. Un peu de nouveau, quoi. Pas tout le
Et
temps les
moi,
mêmes
je
fringues.
change les cheveux tout le temps.
Ouais, c'est moi qui avais fait aussi.
As you can see, for the most part, I had a blast over these 3 months. But as I mentioned earlier in this video, Paris is still having a rough time, and I have some personal stories I feel need to be shared for more people to be aware of the issues and hopefully inspire more change. I think when I first came here, I thought, you know, maybe it'll remind me of when I used to live here, and then I'll actually want to just like permanently reside here. And I think one of the biggest reasons I do not want to live in Paris is the refugee problem is a big problem, and especially where I live. As a woman, I do not feel safe. So in Paris, there's an area called Porte de la Chapelle, and literally when you talk to somebody in Paris and you end up talking about refugees, like they will all say, as long as you don't live near Porte de la Chapelle, you're fine. Guess where Poppy lives? I live right next to Porte de la Chapelle. I mean, I see some things on the street. I don't know exactly what I'm seeing, but there's always like the streets are super crowded, so much traffic, and there's just like massive groups of people selling things that I don't know and doing things, and like always police are coming and breaking them up, and I don't fully know what's happening. I get a lot of stares on the street. I get a lot of people harassing me all the time. I think it's turning me into kind of a very mean person in a way, and that's also why like I don't want to live in Paris, because I have found myself just like snapping at people for good reason. I don't feel comfortable, but like I will be walking on the street and this has happened, and somebody will physically turn and be facing directly with me and walking sideways, looking me in the eye and tell me like, oh, mais c'est très joli, oh là là, viens chez moi. Means like, oh, like how beautiful, like come over to my place. Just so disgusting and making me feel so uncomfortable. I do experience this sometimes when I travel, of course, but it's been the worst here. Yesterday was not okay. So I was going to meet a friend for lunch. I was looking for the relive, which is like where you rent bikes here. And there's a few different stations around where I live. Unfortunately, those are also messed up too. I mean, on all of Paris, they have problems with those, but like specifically in my area, they're all broken. So I spent kind of a lot of time walking around looking for relives. Where I live, if you walk to the left, you're going towards the center of Paris, even though I'm on the outskirts. But if you go to the right, like I pretty much can see the suburbs, the banlieue, and it's not the good part of the suburbs. It's like Aubervilliers or something like that. I usually try to avoid walking this way, but on my app, that's where the relives were. I was already late to meet my friends, so I was like, okay, I'll just walk. So I was walking down, and there was this like, under the bridge, there was like a group of, I don't know, like 15, 20 guys all sitting under the bridge right next to the relive station. I knew that I was probably gonna get some comments. I mean, I was wearing shorts and a tank top because it's very hot here right now. And I knew like, okay, this is not necessarily like a good area, so I'm gonna try to like walk behind. There was some columns, and I was like, I'm just gonna try to walk kind of on the left side of them, because they were already making comments like, and I wasn't even necessarily there, but they could see me coming. So I was trying to walk like on the left side as far away from as I could, but they were really obnoxious and even like standing up and like kind of walking towards me. And I just kept like, okay, I just like kept my head down, kept walking. But it was like, because there was just so many of them, and I was getting really kind of scared, like, are these comments going to lead anywhere else? So I thought a good idea would be to take my phone and film them. It wasn't necessarily that I was just trying to film them. I wanted them to see that I was filming them, because I was hoping that that would like scare them off, like, oh, don't do anything because I'm gonna film it. That made them very angry and actually backfired. So if I ever give advice to people, maybe don't do that. I thought that would sound logical in my brain, but so because I did that, now like half of them all stood up and got really pissed off and started yelling at me like, why are you filming, what are you doing? And then they all start like rushing towards me, and I'm like, I put my phone down. I was like, no, like stop, like I'm sorry, like it just really happened really fast. There's like one bike, and I tried to like enter my code really quick and it wasn't working, and they're still like, they're all walking towards me and they're all yelling at me. So I just like, okay, screw the bike, and I kept walking. And now I'm kind of more in an open area. Before it was under this bridge, now it's more in like the other people can see. This is broad daylight, by the way. This is like 12:30 in the afternoon. And this one guy is walking, and he's like filming, he's holding his phone like this, and he's walking over to me, and he's saying like, you can't film, like I don't even like necessarily remember what they were even saying, but he started saying like gross things, and then he grabbed me, came over, and he grabbed me and pulled me down, and then and he kissed me, and God, I was trying not to cry on this camera. Yeah, okay. So yeah, he like grabbed me, and I fought him off, like, and I was screaming, and so these three women came running, and actually a few cars had stopped too. These three women came running and they were yelling at the guy to stop and get off me. And this one girl who I think she was a prostitute, I'm not entirely sure. She just she came over and she was saying like, you shouldn't film them, like you're gonna aggravate them, like don't do that, and you need to be really careful around these areas. And she's like, they're here for prostitutes. But I was like, kind of like, okay, as a prostitute, like saving my life right now, because she went and started yelling at the guys. And then there was like these two Muslim women who came and they were also yelling at them, and then they like took me by my hand and they like walked me, like one on each side, and like walked me away from them. And they were talking to me about like, you know, this area is not safe here in Paris. You need to be really careful here. All these people, they don't have jobs, they have nothing to do during the day, and they see like a pretty woman and you're dressed in shorts and a tank top. And I was like, yeah, because it's hot out right now, it's really hot. And she's like, yeah, I know, just like around this area in Paris, it's like, it's not good. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what happened. I actually do have a video of these guys, because I took it. I don't want to look at it. I was thinking to show it on this video, but honestly, I don't want to look at the footage. I have some friends who've asked if I've reported it. I have not. I don't feel like it's safe for me to do that. I know, like, maybe that sounds bad, like I should do that for other people who could end up in my situation, but the problem is, and this was like 5 minutes from where I live, I don't want to, like, I don't know, get one or few of those guys in trouble and then all of their friends come after me. Those are just like some of the guys that I see every freaking day. Like, this whole street is just messed up. Later that night, one of my friends, he came over last night to like just talk about everything and be there to support me. And he said that he brought like a bottle of wine and he brought like his bottle opener, and he said he walked like this on the street with like the pointed it out, because he said he didn't feel safe walking on these streets. I just feel a little bit different now. Like, before I could ignore it, but now I'm like, I'm having a really hard time ignoring the harassment. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for all your support, and I will hopefully catch you soon with more like happy, positive videos, you know, but I can't be happy and positive Poppy all the time when shit like this is happening. Sorry, but if I were, then there's something wrong with me because like nobody should be coming out of that situation like happy. So yeah, okay. But I'm safe. I will be okay. I'm not okay now, but I will be okay.
My goal of sharing this story wasn't to install fear or prevent you from visiting Paris. Paris is still one of my favorite places and will always have a special place in my heart. But if we want any positive changes to happen, we can't ignore the issues going on. This is just my personal experience and story, but there are definitely plenty more out there. Let's not ignore these issues, but bring them forward and help make Paris a safer place where people come to enjoy that delicious French cuisine and Parisian culture.
Just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire.
This guy is trying to sell us beer, but the thing is we have 3 bottles of wine.
How's your Madeleine?
Why you take the wine? I am coming.
Non mais j'ai 3 bouteilles de vin.
I know
mec.
that, but
Non mais
We are French. We don't want.
Tu veux que moi
what
je
kind of
vais
beer is
mourir?
this?
Parce que j'ai assez de vin.
tous les
putain.
jours ici.
Mais regarde, j'ai 3 bouteilles.
Ouais,
Je suis
je sais,
alcoolique.
Pourquoi il a acheté?
I don't know what
Je sais
she's
pas pourquoi
saying.
j'ai acheté le vin. Parce que j'aime bien.
I have no idea what she just said.